my name is Chris Yee and I'm making a 3D puzzle platformer called Nectar. In the game, you play as a potted sunflower with his bumblebee companion, using globs of nectar to grow plants and manipulate the world. In this video, we'll be talking about feedback from you. I'm thrilled with the response that I've gotten so far from the first 5 devlogs that I've posted, devlogs 0 through 4, and all of the positive comments have really motivated me to work harder. And while a lot of the comments were compliments, which I'm always happy to receive, some of the comments were little constructive tidbits of feedback, and I always appreciate those too. So this video will cover those. And it'll be somewhat of a short video compared to the other ones, I think, just because I haven't made too much progress since the last devlog. I've made more like incremental progress, just based on your feedback. But before I get into that, first things first, someone pointed out that my Discord server link had expired when I posted the first video. So if you clicked on it and it didn't work, it should be fixed now. So if you want to join my community in Discord, just click the link and it'll bring you there. Something else that people were commenting on was asking why I posted all 5 videos at the same time, on the same day. This was really just me not thinking about it, honestly. In retrospect, I probably should have released them weekly. That would have helped them perform a little better, I guess, but I'm just happy with the response I've gotten already. I'm happy that people are interested in the game in general, so regardless, I'm happy with how it's turned out so far. Now let's get into some of the things I changed based on your comments. So one of them was the bee, specifically the bee shadow, I think. Someone commented that the bee shadow was a little distracting, especially because I disabled the shadow on the plant character, but I didn't on the bee. So the bee shadow is kind of just away from both characters, and I agree, it was distracting. One person suggested getting rid of the shadow entirely. I tried that out, and that works. I think that does work. It would be fine like that. But instead, I added a drop shadow to the bee like I did to the main character, and I actually like how that turned out better. So that was a nice, easy change. Another change was the ledge climb. I was having trouble with the ledge climb, as I mentioned in devlog 1. Sometimes it activates when I don't want it to, sometimes it doesn't when I do want it to. And to solve this, someone said to use a box trace instead of a line trace. And the box trace seems to be working better than the line trace. So the ledge climb not activating when I want it to has been happening less often, which is good. And then the other half of the problem where it does activate when I don't want it to, that was mainly happening on the leaf platform. And someone said to just get rid of the ledge climb on the leaf platform because it's really not necessary. And I kind of agree with that. You don't really need the ledge climb on the leaf platform. So I just eliminated the ledge climb if you're jumping onto a leaf. In the last devlog, the one about the music, devlog 4, someone said that the sound shifts and the music transitions when you go in and out of the nectar were a little too abrupt and harsh, and I agreed with that. That was a pretty easy thing to fix. So now when you go into the nectar, it's more gradual. When you go out of the nectar, it's more gradual. It's a lot less jarring. And then a cool little thing to come out of the devlogs that I posted, a composer actually saw them and reached out to me, and we've been talking a little bit. I think he's going to be making me some music, so that's exciting. Music is definitely my weakest skill, so I'm happy to have a professional do it, and we'll see what he comes up with. And when I have official music, I'll probably make another video on it, so you can look forward to that. I also asked for plant suggestions, plant ideas, because I was looking for some more plants that could contribute to puzzles. And I got a lot of cool suggestions. Some of them that I might implement, or I plan on implementing, are lily pads. So in water areas, I can have lily pads that the character can jump to. I was also thinking of adding dandelions, and possibly like if the dandelion little seed fuzz things get blown in the air, then you can grab onto it and like fly up to a higher ledge. I'm not exactly sure how that will work yet, and I might end up scrapping it, but it's in the list of things to do and to experiment with. And then someone suggested adding luminescent plants, which I think is a cool idea, especially because I'm going to be making a cave level, and I might make them like mushrooms or something. Glowing mushrooms would be cool. Someone also suggested a night level in addition to the cave level. We'll see. They're kind of similar to each other, so I might just do one of them, but the idea of a dark level is neat to me. And then having the luminescent plants light up the world in addition to the nectar is also a good idea, I think. In addition to the plant suggestions, I also got name suggestions. Thank you for all of the suggestions, they're all great. I still haven't decided on one. I've gotten a lot of suggestions. I might actually let my girlfriend decide, just because she's the one that drew the character in the first place. That's what one of the comments suggested, at least, and I asked her what she wanted to name him. She hasn't come up with anything yet, but we'll see. If she doesn't want to name him, then I might have to sift through the large list of suggestions that all of you came up with. But they're all pretty good, so I think no matter what I land on, I'll be happy with it. Now for the things that I wasn't really sure if I was going to keep in, the damage, someone suggested that I keep in the damage and make traps or like herbicide poison things, and then I can use the water for health. I actually like this idea a lot, because currently the way I have it set up, the water is a bad thing, and you're trying to avoid the water, and that was just kind of strange to me. As a plant, water should be a good thing, and you should be trying to get to the water. So I wanted to change the water from a bad thing to a good thing. So now when you get damaged, I want to make it so that the water heals you. And then I still haven't decided if I'm going to make it deactivate the nectar. I still might do that. It'll add an interesting dynamic, having the water be positive for the player, but still deactivate the nectar. Or I might come up with some other substance that deactivates the nectar instead. We'll see. And then the other thing that I wasn't sure if I was going to keep in was the nectar aura around the player that you could control just with the press of a button. I thought it would make puzzles too easy if you just had access to nectar whenever you wanted, but someone suggested making that a limited resource, which I like the idea of doing that, because then you can have a puzzle that's based around managing that resource. And then I would have the nectar blobs be the way that you replenish your player's nectar. So that's what I kind of plan on doing right now. Again, this is all just conceptual, so it might change after I play around with it a little bit. Maybe I won't like it after I experiment with it, but we'll see. And then one final cool thing that came out of the devlogs was, in Devlog 0 I mentioned a game called Farewell North that looked pretty similar to Nectar, and I was actually considering scrapping the whole idea because I thought it might be too similar, and I ended up not scrapping it, obviously. But the cool thing is that the developer of Farewell North actually commented on my video, and he said it looked cool. So I guess I have his unofficial blessing now, and that makes me feel good. So that's pretty much all of the progress I've made so far on the game since the last devlog. It's not a lot. I am working on a new plant type, just as a little sneak peek. It's like a vine tightrope type of thing. And when I'm done with that, I'll probably make a video just focused on that, just because it was way more complicated than I expected it to be, and I think it would make an interesting devlog. So you can look forward to that. And if you want to support me, you can go to my Steam page, the link's in the description, and wishlist the game. That helps me a lot. If you want to see more of these devlogs, you can subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and if you want to join the community, I have a Discord server. The link is also in the description. Thanks.